Nia Harper had been staring at the same sentence for 3 days. Official transcripts must be received by January 31st. No exceptions. It was printed in bold at the top of the graduate program checklist: clean font, polite tone, brutal meaning. The kind of deadline that didn't care whether your car broke down, your boss changed your schedule, or a university office decided to move at the speed of drying paint. Nia had done everything early on purpose. She'd requested her transcript from Westbridge University 2 weeks ago, paid the processing fee, selected the Send to Recipient Institution option, and even paid extra for expedited delivery through the university's submission portal. She'd watched the status updates like they were heart monitor readings. Processed, sent, delivered. That last word, delivered, had given her a rare, clean sense of relief. Until this morning. This morning, her email had chimed with a message from Haven Ridge Graduate Admissions. "We have not received your official transcript from Westbridge University. Please arrange delivery immediately to avoid application closure." Nia reread it twice, then a third time, as if the letters might rearrange themselves into something less threatening. She didn't panic. Not yet. First, she pulled up Westbridge's portal and confirmed what she already knew. Status: delivered date/time, January 23rd, 9:14. AM recipient, Haven Ridge University, graduate admissions. There was even a reference number, SBM-44721. Nia took a screenshot, then another, then saved the page as a PDF. She'd learned to do that with anything important: leases, pay stubs, emails from HR. It wasn't paranoia. It was practice. Then she drove to Westbridge. The campus looked like a postcard designed by someone who'd never worried about money. Red brick buildings, old trees, a fountain that kept running even in winter. Students drifted around with coffee cups and noise-canceling headphones, moving like the world had never asked them to prove they belonged anywhere. Nia parked near the administration building and walked in with her folder tucked under her arm like armor. Inside, the air smelled like old carpet and printer toner. There were signs taped to walls in faded ink. "No food or drinks. Line starts here. Please have ID ready." The language of institutions that didn't trust you. She followed the signs down a hallway to a windowed office marked Registrar, Transcripts. A line of students snaked past the door. Most were white. A few glanced at Nia as she joined the end, their eyes sliding away quickly, too quickly. Nia kept her face neutral. She stared at a corkboard full of flyers she didn't need and let time pass. After 15 minutes, she reached the front. A white woman sat behind the counter window, mid-30s, pale blonde hair pulled into a tight bun, glasses with clear frames, a navy cardigan that matched the institutional vibe of the building. Her nameplate read, Megan Riley. Records clerk Megan didn't look up right away. Her fingers tapped at a keyboard, nails clicking in a steady rhythm. When she finally lifted her gaze, it was quick and flat, like she was checking an item off a list. "Yes?" Nia offered a small, polite smile. "Hi, I'm here about a transcript delivery issue." Megan's expression didn't change. "Student ID?" Nia slid her Westbridge ID across the counter slot. Megan took it, glanced at it for half a second, and began typing. Nia waited, hands loosely clasped. She kept her tone calm, friendly, professional. The voice she used when she needed cooperation from someone with power over a process. "I ordered an official transcript to be sent to Haven Ridge Graduate Admissions," Nia said. "My portal shows it was delivered this morning, but Haven Ridge says they didn't receive it." Megan clicked a few times, eyes scanning her screen. Then she frowned slightly. "We don't have any record of it being sent," Megan said. Nia blinked once. "You don't?" Megan shook her head with a quiet finality. "No." Nia felt her stomach tighten. That's strange. I have the submission confirmation and delivery status. I can show you. Megan's eyes flicked toward Nia's hands, toward her folder, then back to her screen. If it's not in our system, it didn't happen. There it was. That sentence institutions loved, the one that erased your reality with a shrug. Nia kept her face still. She pulled out her phone and opened the portal screenshot she'd saved. It is in your system, Nia said gently. This is the university transcript portal. It shows delivered. Here's the reference number. Megan glanced at the phone like it was an inconvenience. Her eyes touched the word delivered and then slid away. That could mean delivered to the portal, Megan said, voice light and dismissive. Not necessarily delivered to the recipient. Nia's polite smile faded. It says the recipient is Haven Ridge University. It even has the timestamp. Megan's lips pressed into a line. Sometimes those portals glitch. Or, she paused, and her eyes sharpened in a way that made Nia's shoulders tense. Or students submit unofficial copies and misunderstand. Nia stared at her. I didn't submit an unofficial copy. I paid for an official transcript through Westbridge. Megan leaned back slightly in her chair, still not looking fully at Nia. If Haven Ridge didn't receive it, you'll need to order another. Nia felt heat rise under her skin. Another fee, another expedite charge, another risk of missing the deadline because someone behind a counter didn't want to click the right screen. She kept her voice even. I'm not ordering another until we confirm what happened to the first one. Can you look it up using the reference number? SBM-44721. Megan's eyes lifted again, and this time there was faint irritation in them, like Nia had made a request outside the script. We don't search by those numbers, Megan said. Nia's jaw tightened. But the portal generated it, so it should connect to something on your end. Megan shrugged. It doesn't. Nia looked past Megan into the office. Printers, file cabinets, another staff member at a desk. Everything about the room said process, systems, records, and yet Megan was acting like records were a matter of opinion. Nia forced a slow breath. Okay, she said, still calm. Who can I speak to about transcript delivery logs? Someone who manages the portal or outbound submissions. Megan's expression cooled. We're very busy. If you need another transcript, you can place a new order online like everyone else. The line behind Nia shifted. A young white man in a hoodie sighed loudly, as if Nia's problem was a personal attack on his afternoon. Someone's backpack zipper scraped. Nia didn't turn around. She kept her eyes on Megan. I'm not asking for special treatment, Nia said softly. I'm asking you to verify a delivery record your system claims is delivered. Megan tilted her head slightly. Ma'am, I'm telling you, we don't have it. Ma'am, not Nia, not Ms. Harper. A generic label, just enough distance to make dismissal easier. Nia felt something familiar tighten in her chest, the way she had to be twice as composed just to be taken half as seriously. The way confusion always seemed to be her fault. The way the simplest request, please check, turned into a negotiation. She straightened her folder on the counter, aligning its edge with the metal slot, a small act of control. Then she said, clearly, please open the transcript submission portal and search for the delivery status. It should show a delivered event log. If it's not there, I'll accept that. But I need you to actually check. Megan's eyes narrowed. We don't show portal logs at the counter. I'm not asking you to show me, Nia replied. I'm asking you to look. Megan stared as if Nia had insulted her. The portal is handled by another department. Then call them, Nia said, still calm. Or transfer me, or get a supervisor who can. Megan's cheeks flushed slightly. We don't do phone calls for this. Nia's patience thinned, but she kept her tone controlled. Then what do you do when a transcript goes missing? Megan's lips tightened. It doesn't go missing. Students reorder. That answer landed like a punch. So the system didn't solve problems. It charged you for them. Nia felt her fingers curl slightly, then relax. She opened her folder and pulled out a printed copy of the portal status page, because she'd brought paper too, just in case someone tried to act like phones weren't official. She slid the printout toward the window. Megan glanced at it, irritation sharpening. I can't accept that. I'm not asking you to accept it, Nia said. I'm asking you to use it to locate the record. Megan pushed her chair back an inch, posture stiffening. Ma'am, if you keep arguing— I'm not arguing, Nia interrupted gently. I'm advocating for myself. Megan's eyes flicked over Nia again, quick, assessing, then toward the growing line behind her, like she wanted the crowd's impatience on her side. Nia didn't move. She stood perfectly still, shoulders squared, expression calm, voice steady. She refused to be rushed into surrender. Finally, Megan pressed a button on her desk phone. Mr. Callahan, she said into the receiver, her tone suddenly sweet and professional. Can you come to the transcript window? I have someone insisting we track a delivery that isn't in our records. Insisting, not requesting help, not reporting an issue. Insisting, like Nia's request was unreasonable by default. Nia felt her throat tighten, but she didn't flinch. She looked at her phone again. The word delivered sat there, bold and certain. Not a feeling, not an argument. A status the system had produced, and if it had produced it, it could prove it. Footsteps approached from deeper inside the office. A door opened. A man appeared, white, late 50s, gray hair, tie slightly loosened, a badge clipped to his belt. He walked toward the window with the slow confidence of someone used to being the final answer. His name badge read, Robert Callahan, Assistant Registrar. He looked at Megan first. What's this? Megan didn't hesitate. She says her transcript was delivered, but Havenridge claims they don't have it. I can't find any record here. Robert's gaze shifted to Nia. A quick scan, then a polite smile that didn't warm his eyes. Ma'am, he said, if the transcript isn't in our records, we can't do much. You'll need to reorder. Nia held up her phone, screen already open, and met his gaze without apology. It is in your records, she said calmly. Because your submission portal shows delivered, I'm asking you to pull up the delivery event log and verify where it went. Robert's smile thinned slightly. Megan watched Nia like she was waiting for Nia to get emotional, to slip, to become the stereotype that would justify dismissing her. Nia didn't give them that. She stood there, steady as a wall, and the institution, brick and policy and fluorescent light, braced itself against her request for a simple thing. Proof. The submission portal had spoken once already. Now Nia needed it to speak again, out loud, on their screen, where they couldn't pretend it didn't exist. Robert Callahan didn't move immediately. He stood behind the window with the same practiced calm Megan had been wearing, an expression that said, I've handled people like you all day. But Nia could see the faint tension at the corners of his mouth. The word delivered on her screen wasn't supposed to be a problem he had to deal with at a counter. It was supposed to be the end of the story. Nia held her phone steady anyway, not shoving it forward, not wavering. Calm was the only language offices like this respected. I understand your frustration, Robert said, voice smooth and low. But our process is simple. If Havenridge says they don't have it, you place a new order. Nia's jaw tightened. And pay again. Robert's smile twitched. If you need it expedited, yes. Nia kept her gaze on him. I don't need a new order. I need you to verify where the first one went. Your system created a delivery timestamp. Robert exhaled lightly through his nose, the kind of exhale meant to signal patience. "Megan," he said, not looking away from Nia. "What did you search?" Megan straightened, grateful for the chance to be validated. "I searched her student profile. There's no outgoing transcript." Nia turned to Megan, voice still calm. "Did you check the submission portal, or just the student profile?" Megan's cheeks flushed. "The profile is the record." Nia didn't raise her voice. "The portal is also your system." Robert's eyes narrowed slightly, like he didn't like being corrected. "Ma'am," he said, "we don't pull portal logs at the front window." Nia nodded once. "Then pull them in the back. I'll wait." A beat of silence. The line behind Nia shifted. A zipper scraped. A foot tapped. The young man who'd sighed earlier muttered something under his breath. Nia didn't turn around. She refused to let the line pressure her into surrender. The deadline pressure was heavier than any stranger's impatience. Robert leaned in a fraction. "You're holding up the line." Nia met his eyes. "You're holding up my application." Robert's expression tightened. He glanced at Megan, and for the first time Nia noticed a flicker of something between them, an unspoken agreement about how these conversations were supposed to go. But the problem with scripts was that they only worked if the other person played their role. Nia wasn't. Robert straightened and spoke with clipped politeness. "Fine. Give me the reference number." Nia didn't gloat. She simply said, "SBM 44721. Robert repeated it once, then nodded at Megan. "Open the portal interface." Megan's eyes widened just slightly, annoyed that she'd been made to do more work. Her fingers moved on the keyboard, sharp clicks, as if the keys owed her money. Robert turned away from the window and walked deeper into the office, out of Nia's direct view. Megan's monitor faced away from the counter, but Nia could see the reflection of movement in the glass and hear the rhythm of navigation. Clicks, pauses, scrolling. The TV in the waiting area down the hall kept murmuring. The overhead fluorescent lights buzzed like insects. Nia waited. She had practice waiting in institutional spaces, waiting in DMV lines, waiting in urgent care lobbies, waiting for HR to circle back, waiting for people to do the thing they should have done the first time. What she didn't have practice with, what she refused to accept, was being punished financially and emotionally for someone else's refusal to check a system. Megan's voice, muffled now, reached Robert. "I'm in the portal." "What does it show?" Robert asked. A pause. Then Megan, quieter. "It shows. Delivered." The word landed like a bell ringing. Nia felt her chest tighten, then loosen, as if a rope had been pulled off her ribs. Robert didn't speak for a moment. Then, "Open the delivery details." More clicking. A longer pause. Nia watched Megan's shoulders shift, stiffen, like she'd found something she hadn't expected. Robert's voice sharpened. "Read it." Megan hesitated. "It says it was delivered to Havenridge." Robert. "That's what she said." Megan, smaller now. "It has an event log." Robert. "Show me." Nia couldn't see their screens, but she could read the temperature change in the air. The office had gone from "you're mistaken" to "something happened in here." Robert returned to the window, but his face wasn't as smooth now. The polite smile was gone. He looked careful. "Ms. Harper," he said, and Nia noted the difference. Her name, finally. "The portal does show a delivered status." Nia nodded once. "Yes." Robert cleared his throat. "However, delivered in the portal may simply mean it was delivered to Havenridge's secure intake mailbox, not necessarily processed into their admission system." Nia held his gaze. "Then provide me the proof of delivery so Havenridge can locate it." Robert blinked. "We don't provide Nia interrupted gently. You have an event log, a transaction ID, a destination route, something. If the portal says delivered, it has a path. Robert's eyes flicked to Megan, then back. Megan's face had tightened into something defensive again, but it didn't have the same strength as before, because the denial had collapsed, and everyone in that office knew it. Robert nodded slowly. There is a delivery receipt ID. Great, Nia said, voice steady. Print it. Robert hesitated. We typically don't. Nia didn't raise her voice. She made it quieter, sharper. My graduate application closes if I miss the deadline. I paid for expedited delivery. Your office told me there was no record. Now you've confirmed there is. I need documentation. The line behind her shifted again. This time the impatience felt less certain, like people were beginning to understand she wasn't holding them up for fun. Robert exhaled and nodded. Megan, print the delivery receipt. Megan's jaw tightened. We're not supposed to print portal receipts. Robert's tone turned firm. Print it. Megan's fingers moved, reluctant. A printer whirred somewhere behind the counter. While the printer worked, Nia kept talking, not aggressively, but with the calm clarity of someone refusing to be gaslit. I also need to know why I was told there was no record when your portal clearly has one, she said. Robert's expression cooled. Ms. Harper, our staff are doing their best. Nia nodded. Your staff accused me of misunderstanding and implied I submitted unofficial documents. That's not doing their best. That's deflecting. Megan's cheeks flushed again. I didn't accuse you of anything. Nia turned to Megan, voice steady. You said students submit unofficial copies and misunderstand. You said if it's not in your system, it didn't happen. You refused to check the portal until a supervisor came. Megan's eyes widened, offended. That's not, Robert cut in quickly. Let's focus on resolving your issue. Nia held his gaze. Resolving the issue includes accountability. The printer stopped. Megan grabbed the paper and returned to the window, sliding it through the slot with stiff fingers. Nia took it. At the top was a header, Westbridge Transcript Submission Portal. Beneath it, order/reference, SBM-44721. Status, delivered. Delivered, January 23rd, 9:14. AM destination, Haven Ridge University. Graduate admissions secure intake delivery receipt. ID, HVR-INT-9-93508. Transmission method, secure electronic delivery. Event log, processed to sent to delivered. Nia's heart beat once, heavy and satisfied. Not because she enjoyed conflict, because the paper made the truth portable. Robert watched her read it, expression guarded. Thank you, Nia said, folding it carefully and placing it in her folder. Robert nodded, already trying to move on. Now you can provide that to Haven Ridge. I will, Nia said. But I'm not leaving yet. Robert blinked. Excuse me. Nia's voice remained calm. I want you to email this receipt to me as well, from an official Westbridge email address, so I have a time-stamped record that your office confirmed delivery. Robert's mouth tightened. That's unnecessary. Nia held his gaze. It's necessary because 15 minutes ago, your office said there was no record. Now there is. I need the confirmation in writing. Megan muttered. Unbelievable. Nia didn't look away from Robert. Is it unbelievable, she asked softly, or is it inconvenient? Robert's eyes flicked again, line behind her, students watching, the weight of being observed. He didn't like being boxed in by documentation. Institutions rarely did. But they liked being exposed even less. Fine, Robert said. What's your email? Nia gave it. Megan typed with rigid, irritated motions. Nia watched the screen reflection in the glass. An email draft appearing. Subject line, clipped phrasing. When Megan hit send, the click sounded louder than it should have. A second later, Nia's phone buzzed in her hand. She opened the email immediately. From registrar@westbridge.edu. Subject, Transcript Delivery Confirmation, SBM 44721 body. Confirming your official transcript order. SBM 44721 shows delivered to Haven Ridge University. Graduate admissions secure intake on January 23rd, 9:14. AM delivery receipt. ID HVR-INT-993508. Nia felt something inside her settle. She looked up at Robert. Thank you. Robert nodded stiffly. Is there anything else? Nia didn't smile. She didn't apologize for taking up space. She simply said, Yes, I want you to correct the way your staff handles this, because if I didn't have the portal screenshot, you would have charged me again and sent me away. Robert's expression tightened. We have procedures, Nia interrupted gently. Your procedure today was denial until proof appeared. That's not a procedure. That's a pattern. Megan's face hardened. That's unfair. Nia looked at Megan, voice calm, unwavering. It's accurate. A silence hung. Then Robert, more controlled. We'll review it internally. Nia nodded. Please do. She stepped away from the window, folder tucked under her arm like something precious. She didn't rush out. She didn't shrink. She walked down the hallway with her shoulders tall, the fluorescent light washing over everything, unable to dim the certainty she carried now. Outside, the winter air was sharp and clean. Nia stood for a moment on the steps of the administration building and opened Haven Ridge's email again. Then she forwarded the registrar's message, attached the delivery receipt, and typed one line. The transcript was delivered to your secure intake at 9:14 a.m. today. Please locate using delivery receipt ID HVR-INT-993-508. She hit send, and for the first time all day, her breath came out easy, because she didn't have to argue with opinions anymore. She had proof, and proof, unlike dismissive smiles and vague policies, could be tracked, matched, and verified. Just like the portal said, delivered